And I have a little helper today.
Yay, hi.
You gonna be my little helper? There we go. Now I can see your pretty face. Yay. You gonna help me today? What are we gonna do?
Work on the truck.
What are we working on? What part of the truck?
The indoors?
The
Front.
floor pans?
Oh.
That's okay. Let's get to it. A lot of work to do. Floor pans. This is my next task. Those have all burned through, good, nice and solid. That's nice. That's nice. But you can see there's holes. The rust goes up. On mine, I found that the rust actually goes a little bit higher than on most that I've seen. So I can come in right across here and take the minimalist approach. I want to take it, there's a little flange right here, and I'm going to come right on the edge of that flange and bring it down just to leave myself some extra room, so like a lip whenever I go to set it down. And you can see there's holes all throughout. There's nothing left of this floor pan. And so I'm going to try to cut. When I do this, I'm going to try to cut on the straight edge so I can use my my sheet metal clamps. And of course, when I get up in here, I have to be careful about my new body mount because they're brand new, just replaced, and I don't want to tear those up. This right here is all surface, and I'm going to get in here with a wire wheel in just a second, clean all that out of there, clean up all these edges, and I'm going to come down here, and although I don't care about all of this metal, I could just cut all this out for all I care. It's not going to affect me. I'm not just going to come in here willy-nilly. I want to try to remove this floor pan as one big piece as possible. And I may end up needing to do some repair work right in here on this kick panel. But I'm not going to know for sure until I get in here and cut it out. So, given the close proximity of the area in which I'm working, there's going to be a lot of dust flying around, so I figured it'd be better to protect myself. So I'm going to start off by cleaning up underneath right in here.
Are you recording?
Yeah. You said you were going to help me?
Oh,
There you go. Yeah, get all that stuff out of there too.
no. There's a lot over there.
Yep.
Ow.
Careful.
Sorry if I got it on you.
Oh, I'm fine, baby girl. We're out here getting dirty. Try to work my way about an inch above this curve here. Thank you, baby. Down to there. And some of this I'm going to have to get in with a cutoff disc, but for the most part, I've got an air saw, and I'm planning on using the air saw through all this. I'm using my score line. Here. My line that comes all the way around. I get up into here. Instead of taking it to above the bend right here, I'm going to take it just below. And then what that'll do is it'll save me a lot of work right in here. I can leave this in place. I don't have to mess with it. And then from here, I'll actually should kind of curve it around and avoid all of this. And then I can get in here, and when I have access to it, see what I can do to clean this area up. And I can chip away and nibble away at whatever metal I have to in there. Right in here, I had to be extremely careful because my cab mount is coming right in through here. So I have to be really careful. So instead of using my saw, I'm going to use the cutoff disc. I'm going to score and lightly chew into this first thing. I bent the little blade. I'll fix that. All right, I've got this completely cut out. It's still connected along the spot welds right here. But this metal is so rusted that I can't actually find where the spot welds are. So I'm just gonna have to break it up and hope for the best. The corners, you can't see back over here, but on this far corner, right about there, I used a my step bit to kind of radius the edge a little bit, and then I'll go in there and I'll clean it up. I'll clean up this edge, and then I'll fit the pan into fit. But this is otherwise completely disconnected from the cab now. So I got to be careful or I'll fall through here and I'll die to death. Here's what I've got. Here's the kick panel. You can see where I'm at. This is the kick panel, and it's completely rotten. All of this is just, it's all just chewed up right in here. It's just completely rotten. And I'm looking at it, and it goes down underneath all of this. And there's some bubbling, and I ground it down just to see what was going on. But so I think what I'm going to end up having to do, I need to repair all this. I need to fix this. I can't leave it. So I'm trying to debate if I'm just going to cut this off so I can remove this whole section and then put it back. And I think I'm gonna try to knock these. There's a bunch of spot welds, a lot of spot welds here, and I'm gonna try to knock these spot welds out first, peel this back, and see what I can do about getting inside of this. So I have no idea how. Okay, I've been working on this for probably about 2.5 hours. I got that piece out, and it's just completely rotten in there. I mean, there is nothing left. So the piece itself, a little worse for wear, but I'll be able to. I'll clean this up. Look how much rust is in there. So I gotta straighten this back out, clean up everything. I'm gonna sandblast it, and then I'll straighten it back out and reattach it. But this is what I was working with. So I got all that out. Now I'm gonna cut this piece of metal right here across the top, tear all this out, and make a new plate for it. Alright, so I've thought about it, and that piece is so badly pitted that I'm not going to even try to risk it. I can cut the piece off from this one here, but trying to salvage parts is a nightmare. I think I'd be better off just trying to rebuild it, make another one. This is the same gauge steel. It's this whole cab's getting chucked. I'm taking all the parts that I can off of it, but the sheet metal and all this is getting chucked when I'm done with it. So I'm going to recycle as much as I can. The tools, most of the tools that I've got are very basic. So I've got this compound curve here. I'm not entirely sure how to go about doing this. Put my square right here, and I marked out that line. And I come over here on this side and I mark out this line. So this line is at a 90-degree angle to here. This one is at a 90-degree angle to here. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to cut both of these pieces out, which I'll end up losing this triangle, and then I'll fold these pieces down. I'll have to cut out that little tiny triangle right there, and I'll have to cut out this triangle. So I'm going to cut 2 straight cuts and then fold these pieces down and see where I'm at with it. I've got this piece made now. It's a replica of the original, so I'm just going to cut this little sharp edge off right there, clean these edges up, and I think that'll work for me. I gotta trim it down there too a little bit, but I think that'll do it. I'm gonna have to come in here. Here's the part. It'll fit down right in there. I'm gonna have to clean all of this out. I'm gonna cut across here and remove this whole section of metal. And replace that piece of metal. Put my new part in. And then try to get the gosh darn.
So hard to cut.
Yeah, it's cardboard. So just right along these corners right here. Along the bottom. It's alright. Hey, just be careful. Don't hurt yourself, okay? Just cut that piece out for me. Got this whole kick panel. Everything in here is cut out. Those little sharp edges. Let's see if I can do this without cutting myself. I'm gonna clean it up in here, and I'm gonna spray some rust reformer in there just to get some of the areas that I may miss. I'm gonna clean up this whole thing, and I'm gonna make a new piece. And the new piece goes right up in this area, across, and it actually goes out, so it's visible from the outside of the truck. So what I've got her doing right now is she is cutting out a piece of cardboard for me so I can make a template.
Hello.
Hello. All right, now. So I got this is a part that I cut out of the truck.
Are you going to trace it?
Yes, I am. Kind of flatten it out just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I don't need to worry about that part because this is the part that's getting replaced. I do.
And there goes the cardboard. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to get these things out. There's the cardboard, and there's this thing that I just said.
Cut this out. Cut it out rough. Cut.
It's going to be like a rough cut because I had like a hard cut.
Oh no, I'm not saying your cuts.
I know, I had a really hard time cutting it out.
You're fine, but you didn't do anything wrong.
Like I had to like cut longer than the part because it like kept getting stuck. When I was playing over there, sand like blew in my face.
So now we've got this template is a rough part. Okay, so you see, so it's not going to fit exact, but it'll fit kind of close. And then we can figure out how far this has to go back, and we can make all those marks on the paper. Then we get this to fit right, and then we'll transfer this to metal and cut it out. Let me see the template. The template's going to go outside. All right, so here's that piece that I cut out. It's just scrap metal. Cleaned it up. I will finish it obviously before it goes in permanently. Goes right there. A bunch of cutting and fitting and cutting and then trimming and fitting. I've got a good seal there. That's really close to the bottom, so even if I had a visible seam, I don't think it would ever be visible. But I'm going to clean it up and make it look as nice as I can. So that'll go in place. And then this other piece will go in about this area, somewhere in there. And I've got it marked, so but in fact I think it should go right up against this right in here. So it'll go right there, and that'll support the floorboard after the other piece goes in. So I've also sandblasted in there, gotten most of it out, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Metal's pitted, but it's otherwise solid. So I'm going to blow that out, and then I'm going to shoot some rust reformer in there just to cover or take care of any rust I might. I'm going to be using the Rust-Oleum rust reformer. It will chemically treat any rust that I've missed inside of this area. Because my sandblaster, I'm having a heck of a time trying to get into every little nook and cranny. So the way this will work is this plate will fit, and it will end up being partially visible from the outside, at least with the fender off. You'll never see it with the truck put together. That plate will fit right there, and that's part of the kick panel. I'll get you to stay. Just stay for me. Okay. And then I've got this plate. This is that other piece that I had to make. And that fits right down along here. Right there. Got this area put in with some basically body clamp, butt welding, sheet metal butt welding clamps. They're magical. They work great. So I'm gonna throw a spot right there, a spot right there, and I'm gonna work my way out. And then I've still got these spot welds I'm gonna put in first. But the first thing I want, because this is actually gonna be a visible area, is I'm gonna tack it in here, and I want to make sure that this line in here is pristine. Welds are ground down. There's still a few little holes I'm going to come in here and fix. And then I'm going to get this nice and smooth. And then because this little portion, even though it's only going to be the bottom inch, is going to be visible, I'm going to do body filler on this whole panel right in here. But I'm not doing that right now. But when the time comes, before I paint and prime the whole inside of the cab, I'm going to do body filler right here, smooth all this out. But I'm going to fill in these last little gaps right here, and then I still have to attach the bottom of the panel via the spot welds. going to take a little bit of grinding and some finesse. That piece is otherwise in now. Spot welds in that stitch, which looks like crap because there was a huge gap that I had to fill. And unfortunately, with all my measurements, I knew that there was going to be a gap. A nice piece of slag came off. Tried to get me. Where's it at? There it is. Little bugger. Alright, so I think I'm actually about ready to start working on fitting the floor pan in here now. None of this went like I had expected it to. I thought that I'd patch a little hole, throw the floor pan in and be done with it, and that would be it. But obviously I had a lot more in store for me than I realized. I haven't cut the floor pan out yet. I'll get to that one in the next video. But I will be getting to it. It will happen. Get the panels done now. So, needs a little bit of cleaning up, but that's that one. Appreciate you guys watching. Come back for the next one. We actually get this thing filled back in.